Hello everybody, Fuzzfinger here and welcome back to Diablo 3. This is the Belial boss fight, the final boss of Act 2, the Lord of Lies. Let's see how this goes.
When I trap your rotting soul within it, Belial.
Clever, but know this, Nephilim. Asmodan knows of the stone and the power it contains. Even if you defeat me, he will exterminate you and every last one of your misbegotten kind.
Okay, so it turns out the little shit was Belial all along, so now we get to pwn him. And the fight's actually split into 3 separate phases. The first phase is the typical ads phase, where the boss watches from a distance. This shouldn't cause too much of a challenge. It's pretty much the same ads you've seen throughout the act. I'm not sure if this first phase works on a timed event, before the mobs stop spawning, or you have to kill so many. Like I say, I'm not sure, but just try and stay at range as you take them down and make good use of health globes, especially if you're on the higher difficulties. Usual stuff. Once you've killed enough, Belial will become typically pissed off and decide to come and do the dirty work himself.
I will not be undone! This world is mine!
And welcome to the second of 3 phases for this encounter. This is Belial now in his current form, and it's pretty similar to Act 1. You will get the sentinels and the ads that we've just had, along with the boss. That's pretty much the only attack that he does that's of note. I'm guessing it does a lot more damage on the high difficulties. I'm on Nightmare at the minute, where he shoots 3 waves of green poison crap out in front of him, and they sort of spread out and you can just go in between them to avoid them. And he targets them at a particular player, and yeah, you just pretty much need to keep them out for that. Here come the ads. Do take care of them. They of course give you a nice supply of health globes as well, which can be useful. You don't actually have to get Belial down all the way down. You get him to about, I think it's 75%. The last 25% then will kick into the next phase. So this is a pretty easy phase, nothing too challenging. Just try and get the damage on him when you can and manage the ads well.
The true vision of the Lord of Hell!
Now welcome to the third and final phase of the encounter, and in my opinion this is possibly the best looking boss encounter of the entire game. When I first saw this I literally fell aback. I thought it looked freaking awesome. So yeah, this comes as a surprise to a lot of people. When they kill Belial, you think he's going to be dead after that second encounter, that second phase, but he's not. He comes back in what can only be described as his true form, and he has a whole new range of abilities that you have to deal with. Okay, so the attack he's doing right now is his lightning strike, and basically you see loads of green spam all over the floor. That's what you need to avoid, because that's where he's going to be throwing his bolts down. His other attacks are his melee attack, which he's doing now. You can see the odd green circle of flies appearing on the ground. That's where he's about to strike. Don't have much time to run from it, so just be quick when you see it. There's one. And his other attack you need to watch out for is his poison breath. It doesn't go across the whole platform, so you can avoid it. So in a nutshell for this phase, there is lots of green shit, and you want to avoid all of it. If you're a noob, a bit like my wife here demonstrates, you can get killed quite easily if you lose concentration, and since the recent hotfix that Blizzard have put in, which means you cannot res in multiplayer games while you take damage, it can be a bit of a pain in the ass to get your team members back up alive again. As you can see, I'm struggling a bit there, but since he's well over half health still, I would like to try and get the wizard up, my wife. Hopefully we can do it there. You see, do get a little bit of break for rezzing, which is useful. Does Puka learn from that lesson? Well, you'll have to find out. But no, this fight, it's not too hard, to be honest. Very reminiscent of raid bosses in WoW, I'd imagine. You know, avoiding lots of green crap. And this is the lightning strikes again that we're seeing here. And Puka just demonstrating once again what happens if you stand in it for too long. Let's see if we can get this res up here. There we go. So, hopefully all those Inferno clears that were done by Method, was it, will be a lot harder if they try them again now, since it's not as easy to res in combat. Of course, if you do die, then don't bother releasing for a corpse run, because you can't come back in on the boss fight until the encounter is finished, either by a wipe or because the boss is dead. So you may as well just wait it out and see if you can get a res. Same with all bosses, of course, not just this one. But that's pretty much the basics for this fight, so I hope this video has helped you out. And I'll leave you to watch the conclusion. Thank you very much for joining me. I've been FuzzFinger, and I'll see you next time.
Quickly, Leah. Seal Belial's soul within the stone. It is ironic that one as twisted as Zoltan Kuhl played so great a role in our salvation.
Kuhl was once a tireless enemy of hell. From his life, let us learn. The longer we fight evil, the more it can corrupt our hearts.